Hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm gonna try and get Pat on here. Although he is Wynn's only caretaker right now.
Uh-huh.
Oh, whatever. Okay, hi.
What are you whatevering?
People, I'm whatevering people.
Yeah, it's like, okay, how many flying objects can we have going on at the same time?
Okay. It's 3 o'clock
don't
here.
know.
You're waiting for me.
Yep.
I'm juggling, and
Don't
I'm
get
gonna like
smart
doing
with
the
me.
circus.
Okay. There you go. You got me. So to-do list, we wanted to add a few things. One was, let's see, the bills. Oops. Sorry.
The Bonadio bill is the only one I wanted to
Well,
discuss.
yeah. Trying to get in my list here. Slow. So bills. So it was, I wanted to mention Nadine's too, Nadine and Benedito. Okay, well, let's just do those now. So there's a deal bill that everybody saw. It's not surprising. What we're getting is a bill for what they've done to date, and I reasonable. You need to.
You're cutting in and out.
Am I? Oh, okay,
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm probably just not talking loud enough because my wife tells me I mumble. So, she's right. Yeah, and for 51 years, I've been sticking in there because she is right about everything she says, for sure.
Exactly.
So yeah, and I'm okay with that. So the Bonadio bill is for 5,000, and you have to decide, Marcia. I've made my judgment that it's reasonable that you decide whether we've done $5,000 work of a 20,000 potential quote. Because in my mind, I want to pay it. I think we need to pay it. And I think we need to figure out that, whether it's today or whether it's when we get the rest of the funding, the 65, which is good at 65, but I think we need to put this in the expenses, and then cancel so they don't spend any more time on it because they were going to put another person on it, starting this week and start working on it again. I don't want to do that.
Okay,
So-
so I'm good with paying them from the admin account, and the balance on the admin account is 14,205.80. So that will bring us down under 10,000 in that account.
Okay.
We paid offsite today because that's an automatic transaction.
Right.
But I think we need to wait to notify both them and offsite until we have the official announcement go out. At that
I
point
agree.
in time, we want to suspend both contracts.
I agree. So offsite kind of got added here. So I agree. I think everything that we need to list all of the, my dog's going to bark for a while. Sorry. I just ran her for 2.5 miles, but that doesn't matter. Still barks, but we need to just line up all of those things, the behave, the whatever else. And I don't know if I want to spend time on that right now, but that's what we ultimately have to think about.
We've already canceled a lot of those.
Okay, but I mean, I know we've talked about cash flows, so thank you for doing it through March. I understand that, and we got to think about, what it is going forward and what we might have going forward. 65 is good. That's, 10 grand further than what I thought it was going to be, so that's positive. we will have some level of billings for March. The other one, just I wanted to share, if everyone's all right with moving forward with Bonadio, we're down to a four-person team.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I just see Deb's shadow, or she looks like
Oh,
a
I'm
silhouette.
sorry.
You're all right. It
Well,
just looks like you're silhouetted.
I am. It's better
You are
than,
silhouetted, yeah. And that's probably intentional.
no,
or-
it's the way it is, the light in my room.
It's all right. I know you're there. So let's pay that, put that in the queue. I heard from Nadine today, who is Pinnacle. And Marcia, thank you for doing what you did, but I haven't had a chance to see it. And so I know that we have, number one, I'm going to make some assumptions. Tell me if I'm wrong, if anyone even knows. Pinnacle Planning was hired before with on the ground. There is no contract in the file. There's nothing which states what she's going to do or not do. There is, I think it's like 7 months of billing of 6,500 a month. I'm not correct on that, I'm sure, but 7 or 8 months of billing in 23 for 6,500. We paid 4,800 once. We paid 6,500 once. And we haven't paid any of the other 6,500s that are listed as due her, although there's no invoices and there's no contracts. So that's that. Then there is an invoice that came into Andy on March 2024 that we didn't see until, I didn't see it until January of this year when I did the reconciliation, or late December, whenever that was, for
We did-
Bonadio. But
We didn't get it from Andy until January of this
Okay.
year.
okay, so let me just finish what she's emailing about. So it's 27,500, and it's for, I mean, there's a whole list of things that she helped us with. I have no evidence of her doing anything. I mean, I'm not saying she didn't. So please, so she finally sent the request to me, along with Andy, and said, I'm clearly not getting anywhere with you, Andy. And I've been asking for, a year. It's been 1 year, today, whatever she wrote in the email, please remit or stop ignoring me, kind of thing. I want to be paid. So I wrote her back and said, thank you for copying me in. I was not aware of this invoice until January, something like that. And that we're just what you'd expect. We're in the middle of everything and we're trying to figure out, the next steps forward, and I'll be in touch, kind of thing. So I did an avoidance, but the tone of it, I think, would be one that she put a claim in. So I want to be fully aware of that. She actually, from my standpoint, is the only one that I believe is really pissed off and wants her money. I will say, and this is maybe something for Nixon, that we have no contract. I have no evidence, and I can call her and ask her, and which I'm going to actually. I'm going to write her and say, I have your invoice, and it's significantly itemized, and I have none of that available to me, that product. I can't find any of it. I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's just ingrained in different documents, and therefore there is no hard product that she did. I don't know. But I'm going to ask her for that. And I'm going to also advise that there was no contract. And please send it if you've got it. I just think that's going to be something we got to worry about. So my recommendation, then I'll shut up for a second, is that we contact her, get all the information, do this kind of finding first, and let her come back to me and see what. I don't want to screw Nadine. I don't want to screw anybody. So I guess we need to all understand that. But go back to her, and then when she comes back, then maybe we settle on something to keep her from laying claim. But we'd have to have Nixon, write the disclaimer or the acceptance of $5,000, $10,000. I don't know what that number is, and I don't know what we have. So there, done.
So we're not anywhere near in a position to be paying anybody other than Joe, because we're paying Joe for current bills. But if we pay one of our accounts receivable without paying, or accounts payable without paying another one, and we file for bankruptcy, we're gonna have hell to pay, because then we're gonna have to be paying everybody every last cent we have. And we don't have every last cent. So
Hmm.
we've paid her exactly what we paid Janelle, except that we inadvertently paid Janelle twice for one invoice. But they both only billed for two invoices prior to 2024. And then they are billing for all of this stuff, or we only have records of them billing for one invoice
Okay.
for startup costs and one invoice for training and technical assistance for January. And that's all we have from both Nadine and from Janelle. And we paid both of those invoices. If they sent additional invoices, they sent them to Andy and he never gave them to us. And then when we
Okay.
said we have to have invoices, we have to have them, and everybody brought them forward, except Nadine did not send us an itemized invoice. So we said, well, we're just going to accept what she's got and just list that as what she considers to be what we owe her. But, I can't pay, we can't pay anybody.
Okay,
If she
so I
files
thank
a,
you.
yeah, if
Thank
she
you
files,
for the update on how that sits. I think I need to get back to her with my requests of, indicating no contract and just wanting more information on what you produced. That's just legitimate. I'm fine with that, with not paying her. I'm only saying she's upset. So, I'm just wanting everybody to be clear that could be one that upsets. Go ahead, Doug.
Um, but am I nuts? But that I was of the impression, the reason that like Janelle, and I don't know too much about Nadine, although I have met her and sat in meetings with her, that they were just agreeing to take what we could pay them on those invoices that they submitted. And that the reason that they would be in now is because Andy was being told, you got to give us the invoices, give us the invoices. I never had any, I didn't believe that they ever had any intention of being paid, that they knew the situation, and that they just submitted, those earlier invoices that they got paid on and didn't really anticipate anything more, but I could be wrong.
Oh, I agree with you. Until I saw this email this morning, it's
Yeah.
exactly what I thought. I
Yeah,
thought that Janelle and Nadine came together
Yeah.
and that they've been communicating, which doesn't seem to be clear that they are, and that there was an agreement and understanding. And
yeah.
so, yes, I'm throwing this out to us because I believe it's a potential problem, and I'm just throwing it out. So I'm good with, let's just sit on it. I will get an email back to her, let her know that I thought we paid what we were supposed to be paying, two invoices. You now sent those over to me, Marcia. I just haven't looked at them. So I can send those back to her, say that we have these. We don't have a contract, and the 27.5, we need to know what this was, what the product was.
But I
Uh,
would not necessarily poke the bear with that.
Okay,
I would,
I agree.
okay.
don't get contentious with it. We don't have this, we don't have
Oh,
that.
yeah,
No, but
I'm
it
not trying to be
sounds
contentious.
contentious,
You're
and I
right.
would just leave it. I would let it, I would just say, thank you, we received it and we're reviewing it, or something.
Okay.
I just would hold off with her, and then maybe we could get some more clarification too, because I'm sure that's what we discussed in meetings, and yeah.
Okay, okay.
Two
That's why
invoices.
I'm bringing it to you guys. I'm not mandating anything. I'm just saying that I'm now in the midst of, emails of being upset that how come you've been avoiding me for a year and you guys don't have any intention. It's in the records. Okay, thank you. And you are recommending I don't do anything more than what I've done, and I can tell you what
No,
I've done.
I don't mind that you respond to her in some
I
way.
did. I'm going to tell you what I did because, hang on, I lost you for a minute. Nope, gotcha. You should see and hear what I did because I don't think I copied everybody in. I know I didn't. Um, so,
I have it here.
Oh, did I copy you in on it?
Um,
Oh, I said, thank you for the email, Nadine. I believe we met a couple years ago. I took over the chair in late fall as Andy resigned. He still maintains an active role as a volunteer. I have always been concentrating on tiny home development, but now as finance chair and chair, I've focused on the status of the day-to-day sheltering. Much good work has been done with Project Haven, although funded on more promises than dollars. I am assessing all that has been involved and apologize for the lack of communication. I'm hoping that some decisions will be made on the availability of any funds. I welcome you reaching out to me. I was under the assumption that Janelle, despite her board change, had been the communicator between Reach and you since the outset. Thanks very much.
I think that's plenty.
Okay,
I do
good.
too.
All right.
And I'm gonna tell
Sue,
you
you're
that
in. Okay.
we just need to, if we get sued, we get sued. And
Yeah,
we don't do anything with it except let Nixon know. And,
right.
you know, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. So
Yeah, I agree. So let's
we
move
just
on.
go with
I
it.
just wanted it for the records, so you know what's going on, and so no one goes, how come you didn't tell us that you saw something from Nadine? So anyway, so that's just knowledge transparency. So moving on from that,
Would
on
you
the ES,
forward that email
yeah,
to us? Just so
the
that,
one I just said,
yeah,
yeah, right here.
yeah, because I checked and you
I
didn't even
thought you were
include.
on it.
No, you didn't
Okay,
include Sarah in it. That
okay,
was what or the info account in it, and
yeah,
that was what I was looking for.
sure.
So
Hang it. And Deb, you're still using Yahoo when you send out emails, so
I'm
is
using
that,
both because some people send me one and some people send me on another and
okay,
I
all
can't.
right,
This
all
is
right,
coming to
so.
an end soon, so I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was coming, it had come to an end actually. So you all got it and we can move on. I just wanted to go through the to-do list and just discuss what we've done to date. And here it is Monday. We were talking about doing it all today. On the ESG, can I just go to there? Have we submitted for that?
No, I, I, I haven't done it. I
No,
So you
no,
asked
Matt,
Deb to
I'll do it. I'll try to do it tomorrow. I'm just overloaded at this point.
We're all
I've been
overloaded, so.
on
we're
the
not-
phone and I just haven't had 5 minutes.
So if you can get that done, I need to be signing it, I believe. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
you know, get it over to me. I'll sign it. I will, you know, hand deliver it to John Oster if I have to. But
Well, we
yeah,
have the
let's,
money already. I mean, we already gave him the money, right?
yeah,
We
we
did.
already paid Joe. I sent you the
yep, we're
receipt.
looking for the
Right,
money back.
right.
Yep.
I sent you the receipt for the money we paid and also the invoice plus the behave payment for
Right, right, I got
January,
all
which
that,
was
yeah,
paid on February 1st. So you got everything you need.
Okay.
Right.
And the 15%, did you net that out and all that? Or did you just say,
15% is, you know, like $150. No, it's
just saying, did you itemize it?
no, I just sent the receipts for Deb to use, but the behave bill was 844, so I knew it was over 15%.
Okay. All right, so that has to total the balance that's due, and I don't know what that is, but great. So you got that. Tell me when it's ready tomorrow,
Okay.
and I'll get on John Oster so we can get that money back.
It's $4,089.
That's
Or-
everything, including the 15%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I just ask and I'm not saying this in terms of me doing it. I'm just saying, what's the rush that we would have to hand deliver it to John Oster? Now
I
that
want the
we have-
money. Yeah.
Well, but do we need it? I mean, can we wait the normal 2 to 3 weeks that they take to process these, or is there some critical mass we're talking about here? No,
Well, we can talk about that, but I think the quicker we get that, the
Well, I
better.
agree.
And so I can jostle him, and it won't be a pain in the ass. He and I get along very well. I just want to follow up and make sure it happens because it'll slip. And I
Okay.
think we need $5,000 for $4,500. Mainly because cash flow of the 65 is not going to come probably till the third week. And so we're relying, I think, on operating this shelter to the 21st with the UW and with Wilson. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. I just want to know that you're going to get that to me. Storage, has that been figured out?
We don't think we need storage.
Okay, good. Matt didn't either, so, okay,
I mean, it
Oh.
just depends on the,
Yeah.
what we can do with the freezers that we purchased, that Matt purchased.
okay.
And I mean,
Which-
really,
Well, it's the
Alright.
freezers and the technology and all of the records. And so I think we do need storage, but we don't need a very big one. And there's some question about whether we have 2 or 3 freezers. So we need to get that answered before we can figure out how much storage we need. And I'm waiting on an email back from John on that.
why would John know? He doesn't
Yeah,
know.
why would John know? I thought we were
He's
using
not
that.
he's not at Barberry.
No, the freezer that we can't determine if it's missing or not is the one that was at West Main Street.
We didn't. Did one of the freezers we purchased go to West Main?
Yes, one went to West Main, one. Let's see now, there's one other place, one went to University, one went to, Phelps, and we gave them washers and dryers also, and then we didn't, take those back when we turned over the properties, but it's been long enough that we won't have to account for them. But there was one at West Main and 2 in storage at Barberry. Probably the one at Recovery Houses, I'd be guessing.
So the fact that I heard that everything was out of 720, does that mean
Yeah.
our freezer's out?
If the freezer is out, I don't know. That's what I can't figure out. And I keep getting these circular answers from everybody else, which is why I asked John. Because
Hmm.
John's the one that told me it was there.
I'd have to go back and look at John's email, but it's pretty detailed as
It
his
was very
emails are.
detailed. And
And
it
it
didn't,
doesn't say they took a freezer out and they're storing it?
it didn't say they took
No.
the freezer out, and it doesn't say there was one there. That's why I'm asking him for clarification, because he took all those pictures. And he was involved in the closing up of West Main. So, I just need to figure out whether it's missing or not. If it's missing, that's fine. We will not need to store it. But if it's not missing, we need to know that. Because
Yeah.
that will
Can
make a
we,
difference
can we
in the
ask
size of the
Matt to do
storage.
this?
We
I've
can,
kinda- yeah, just-
well, we can't
Let's not
because
go to
we can't.
John. Let's go to
I've
Matt, our
Already
employee.
asked Matt, and Matt said,
want
don't know.
Deb or Sue to talk to Matt and confirm what we currently own and what we need to store. That was the request before. It's pretty simple.
yeah,
Okay, Deb,
Okay, wait. Did you see, I say, I'm sorry, but just trying to get a freezer out of there is almost an impossible task. I don't know how they got them in there to begin with, so. I mean, can't we just say, can't we just give it to them, for God's sakes? You know about the stairs and the doorway and the this and the that for a
yeah,
$100
yeah. But
used
can we just do the first step that I keep asking for? Can we just assess what we owe and what we own rather, and what we have and where it is, and we'll sit down in the list and go, what are we doing with this one? Oh, give it away. What are we doing with this one? Move it. What are we doing? I just
I don't
haven't seen
know.
a list of inventory that I've kind of asked for. So otherwise, I don't care. We'll give it all away. We won't take any of it.
Good, let's just do it.
we can't give it
Well,
away.
You're gonna get into, crosshairs with bankruptcy if you're just giving away assets that cost money and have value. So
Okay, let me
I'm
just
sitting
say
here
this.
without knowledge. No
I have
knowledge
asked
is
Matt for
not
an
good.
inventory of what we own and what's in.
And I think we're still paying them, right?
Okay,
So
Yep,
tell him to work for us and help us. He knows what's happening.
okay,
It's a pretty simple thing. So
like 5
stat.
times though. I know, okay.
I hope the list comes back and says we don't own anything. We've got just technology and boxes of people's records that we should be storing.
right, but we need to
Then
know
we'll make
what
that assessment.
technology we have, because some of it was probably stolen with the break-in at West Main, and when we notify Flips that we're missing equipment, we're gonna have
Mhm.
to tell them that.
Right.
I think, isn't Flips the one where it's the $1 a year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a
We
lease.
already decided that we were gonna keep it. and we can store it, but
And
we're,
it costs $1 a year,
for 3 years, yes.
right?
Right, it's
Okay.
$1 a year for 3 years per piece of equipment. But the reality is that it says right in the contract, if any equipment becomes damaged or unusable or is lost, we have to notify them. And I have been asking for an inventory of the equipment since sometime last year. I believe it was starting in the summer when the fiscal year ended. I knew we were going to need it for the assets for our filing for our taxes, and I still haven't seen it. So good luck if you can get it, because I still need it.
So, yeah, so and I see you, Sue, I'm gonna get to you, but with regards to Nixon, that's gonna be their question. Send me a list of everything you currently own. And if I send a list, say we don't own anything, and then they find we do, I don't want to do that. I just want to be able to have that list. So I think we've beaten this one up enough. Matt should do it. We should get going. Sue,
Yeah, that sounds good to have Nat do it, but I was also just gonna add that, I don't think any of those flips computers were stolen. I think they were long gone out of West Main, way long time ago. And I,
You
Okay.
are not correct, Sue, because I was over there and had pictures of Flips computers that was not the laptops, it was the desktops, because when they had the chance to order them, they ordered 8 laptops and 8 desktops and 8 monitors. And there were
Okay.
desktops and monitors sitting at West Main Street as recently as the fall of this year, of last year.
okay, then that I misunderstood.
yeah, so let's move on. We're gonna get that one done. That's great. Matt needs to do that because I'll need it for, if not anything else, Nixon. So staff notifications, tell me what you're thinking on that and timing, and because, as I said, that needs to happen simultaneously, but without that happening, I don't want to send anything out.
I would like to notify staff tomorrow.
Okay,
I think they're very anxious to know a closing date, and I think they're entitled to have one.
Yeah. totally. Great.
They have already been notified that we're closing, so all they really need is a date. We cannot set up the norm, we do not have time to set up an all staff meeting with
That's
all,
fine.
with all of
Right.
them. And it takes a while, and Pam contacted me. She texts me from ports when they land someplace. I'm like, are you nuts?
Where?
But anyway,
Oh, the boat. Yeah, right.
yeah. Anyway, she would like to have an all staff meeting on the 12th. And I think I'm gonna have Andre schedule that. Tomorrow, we'd like to construct just a group text that goes out to everybody as to we're closing, the date that we're closing, the resources that we will provide, and the fact that we will have an all staff meeting on the 12th. At that point in time, then we will work on our closing letter. I know we want to give it to them like in person because we don't have a lot of addresses. We do have everybody's email, and we can email it out to them, but we can't do it right now because there's an issue with the email that Janelle is working on now to try to get it fixed, but we can't send any of the any emails out right now, whenever.
And the
Okay, so you
emails
think that'll
going
be
in are
fixed
bouncing
tomorrow?
also.
So you
I'm
think
sorry.
that'll be fixed tomorrow, Deb?
No, I don't.
Oh, so you're not gonna notify people by
We can
email
do the
tomorrow?
group chat. We can do the chat, but we can't send the
Oh.
closing emails, the emails. So,
What's the status of that? I know you said Janelle's working on it, but what,
well,
is there like, I don't know what to do, or is there, oh, I gotta type a T in every line or something? Is there,
No,
that's,
so she said, oh God, where did I put it? Anyway, she is definitely working on it. It's updating. She got something about a broken link to a website or so, I don't know. But anyway, they said it would take from 24 to 40 or 72 hours to work on it. And so she did it Saturday, Sunday after, I don't know, Saturday or Sunday morning. It's not the end of the 72 hours. She thought it would be done in 24. It doesn't seem to be working as fast as she wants. She keeps checking on it. She's of the impression that it probably won't go through and she is not allowed to contact them. They won't take any contact directly from her until the process is complete. So we have to wait the 72 hours and then she can contact them directly.
Okay, I have two
Whoever them
questions.
is.
One question is, and I see others too, but one question is, we just need the emails of the employees, and you're saying that's bottled up in this mess that you're talking about? Okay, it is. All right, thank you. That's the first question. The second one is group chat, not familiar. Is it like a team meeting or is it
Yes.
a typed chat
Yeah,
that you're
yeah,
doing?
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, I do group chats, but is that what you're talking about? You have?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay,
It's
so
True Behave,
we
it's
have a
True Behave
written,
thing or whatever they call it.
we have a
And they do it
written,
all the time. They use it all the time. And that's how Pam notified them initially of the close.
okay, so that's something we can have in writing that shows that we sent that out, and then we're gonna send something later when we get this fixed, and then we'll say that there's a 12th meeting. Okay, I am fine with that. I want to make sure that I'm ready to go when you push send on the group chat. And I should be ready because we did the letters finalized today and got the draft of the email and so on. So, okay, that's good. Yep. Marcia.
So Deb, would you please contact Becky at the county because
I
it's,
already did. They got the billing.
okay, good.
Okay, cool.
That, because when I answered it, I got back the email address, the mailbox was not found or something like that.
Hmm. Okay,
So-
so
and
they're
that
good
was-
on they're working
yeah.
on the 65. Okay, good. All right. Okay, well,
Okay.
I'm in agreement. If everyone else is in agreement with this, will be tomorrow via group chat, and then I will send out the other as well. So everybody knows now notification of stakeholders. I have, but thank you.
You're breaking up.
Wait, breaking up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have the emails that Deb sent me. Thank you. And I also had most of them, except there were a few that filled in the gaps. Thank you very much. So I will get the ones you're missing. I have Wilson, I have UW, I have everything. You guys will be obviously copied on it when I send it out. So if that's fine with everybody, that'll go out when tomorrow, when you do the staff. Right?
I
Okay,
had
we're
a
gonna
couple
use
changes
the
I'd like to
short,
make. to
on the
that.
short version,
No,
on what?
I'm having major confusion here. I don't know if you sent the
Sure.
letter, you sent the one that you just sent, just recently, that I responded to and said DHS is responsible.
Right,
Okay, there's that letter. Then there's the short version. Is there another short version, the one that we had last week? That's gone.
no,
and it's just-
the one we talked about Friday is the one that I'm going to be sending. We reviewed it this morning. There were a couple of small changes. Sarah had a couple comments that I didn't know she was going to be reviewing it. There were good comments, so we made a change to both the long version, which is just how did we get there, is basically what's on the
Right.
rest of it. The short version is the version I am going to send to all the stakeholders tomorrow when you get on the group chat.
Okay, and then there's a separate one that you just sent it that's going to the county. Is that correct?
I haven't sent anything.
Yeah, the one I just responded to.
Oh, the termination?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, that wasn't clear, but that's just a draft, like 5-minute draft of this is what I think we should do on a termination. That we have to officially say, hi, county, this is Reach Advocacy. We are terminating our emergency housing contract. That's what I put together. If you have comments and changes on that, thank you. I want to get that to, I'm sorry, that wasn't clear. I
No.
needed to get that to Nixon. Okay, I get it. And with any comments from you guys on that, it should be as simple as possible. But I
Okay.
felt that what I wrote was the essential pieces of it. But Nixon is going to finalize it. And they asked me for a contract. I think somebody saw that too. And I said, there isn't a contract. We only have an approval on the portal. And obviously we got funded one draw, so we're approved. But so no, that was a separate, that's going to Monroe County DHS and everybody at the county and saying, we're terminating our contract.
Okay. And is that going tomorrow?
It should, yeah.
Okay.
You know, it is 25 to 4. I haven't heard back from Chasey, I don't think, but yes, that's the intention. And to
Okay.
be honest with you, if Nixon says, wait a minute, I don't like this part, I don't like what you're doing here, then we stop, we pause. That's why we have to be coordinated to when you're gonna send that group chat. And I
We
hope it's tomorrow. Go
If
ahead.
we're sending the short version of the original letter, not the termination of the contract one, to United Way and Wilson, we need to make sure that it says, at least in theirs, that final payroll will be paid on April 4th.
Okay. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's fine. So
And I have
my recommendation would be this, is that, write the note down, is that on the ones I send individually to UW and Wilson, that I say that in the email. Please see enclosed and attach it, and not change the text of the short
That's fine.
form, and say in the email, please be aware, appreciate your help, all those nice things. Our last payroll with your funds will be on April 4th.
Sounds good.
That fine? Okay.
Mhm. And in the termination of the contract, the second paragraph needs some rewording. Otherwise, I think you did a great job.
Which one? Oh, the termination?
Yep.
Okay,
I have some
So-
issues with the termination as well.
great. So is that a document? I can't remember how I sent it to you, probably in Word.
You sent it
don't-
as a Word document.
I don't do Google well. I've told everybody already. I know that's not a big deal, or it is a big deal, but I don't do it. I do Wordle, or I do Wordle. I just did
Wordle,
Wordle.
well, there's that.
I love Wordle. I do Word. So make the changes you want and then send it back to me. And I know it's not a document that we can play in like Google, but if you can just make the changes you want or tell me, I'll do that. And then I'll send that out to Nixon and say, this is what we're thinking about the termination that we want to go out tomorrow, and see if I can get someone to respond to me. So I'm
Yep.
fine with it.
I will do that.
Great.
Are
There's
you,
no- I
are you doing
haven't
that
heard
now, Marcia?
I can't do that and think at the same
Not, no,
time.
not this instant.
Yeah, right.
So I will get it done. And
Okay, I'm
it's-
not really, I don't like to fool around with Word documents. Can I just tell you what I want?
Yeah. Just put it in an email. Say,
Okay.
here's what I would change. Second line, first word, change it to this, whatever you want to do, so I can understand what you're saying.
I know you said take
Um,
the space out between MC and DHS. so
Oh,
let me
right.
do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
They
That's fine.
always say MCDHS.
And to be honest with you, it's gonna get lawyered, because you really should be put defining terms in there, who reaches, and call them reach, and you should, yeah. So there's a lot of things that the Nixon will do to that, which I'm fine with. I just wanted to get something to them
Yeah.
with the basic content we want. So tell me what it is, I'll fix it. And then there's one other good thing that I know that's happening through all this process we're going through, is that all of us are seniors and all of us are using our brains really well right now. So we're going to live probably 2 more years.
No, I think
big-
until 125 at the rate we're going.
I mean, I like to do puzzles because I can't sit still, but this has been, my brain's working like overtime. So, all
Oh,
right.
good.
So, yeah.
I
right,
read
so-
all the MCDHS changes in all 3 documents.
So that's that. Media I put in here is to do, I guess we'll wait. I think we all agreed that we would wait, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so that's that. Donor notifications, that's a problem, I think. In that Sarah indicated she can't access or maybe you know it better than I, Marcia, she can't access all of our donors to notify them with that letter that I'm sending to everybody else. And I would send to them the, how did we get here? portion of
Okay,
it.
so what the problem is that we have a huge database of donors who didn't donate through the website, so we don't have their email addresses. And then we have the donors who donated through the website who we only have their email addresses. So I can get the ones that are donated through the website. I can get you that list without any problem. I have to log into the website tonight and make a change that somebody pointed out to me over last Friday that needs to be updated. So I can get you those email addresses, but the rest of them are going to have to be sent via US mail.
Okay. As
And
long as
I-
we have,
Well,
all I'd want is a list of who we can send the email to, and then also who we need to, put a stamp on, and we'll do it. We'll start working on it. I think we need to do that. I think we need to also, Marcia, do, that's between us on tiny homes, I guess, but we need to notify the people there. And I think we got to think through that one.
well, the
Maybe we
donors,
don't. Maybe
the
we
donors,
don't.
the donors are
No,
the
we don't.
donors.
Yeah, we don't, because we're not killing tiny homes at this point. So this is
Yeah.
good.
Okay,
right.
so
If
so
we can
wait a
get that
minute.
list, go ahead.
Who here knows how to do mail merge? Because I do not. So who's going to send this
Sue,
out?
you look like you weren't sure.
You're
muted,
muted.
Sue.
I don't know mail merge. I do
Oh,
not,
okay.
yeah.
Well, what's the list like? I don't even know what it is. Is it 5 pages long? Is it?
It's in a spreadsheet in the drive.
Well, Sue, isn't this
Hmm.
what the hell that we went through previously when we sent all those letters out?
So, yeah, we did, we went through the list. And it wasn't too bad. We hand addressed them.
There's 511.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So
we did, I think we did
isn't
500 though, but
the newsletter goes to every donor.
Yeah.
no.
Don't we have a newsletter? Oh, that doesn't?
No,
No, it only goes out to
Why?
people who sign up for the newsletter. Because
Ah,
I think Deb and I did about 200. Because the reason we only did the 200 is that we figured some of the people had moved or passed away that
Mhm.
hadn't given in quite a while.
Right.
So we made a rule of thumb, I think of, 4 years? If they haven't given in 4 years, we don't send them a letter.
well,
So-
I know there's people that haven't passed away that haven't given in 4 years, so we need to send them pretty much to everybody.
Okay, well, that's a much bigger job.
Yeah. Why do we have to send it to people that
So-
haven't given in 4 years?
Because they gave to.
I would. I mean, if they gave $25,000 4 years ago.
Well, that's a
think the
difference.
record-
If they gave $10, it's a different thing too.
Yeah.
One time.
$10 to some people is like $25,000. I don't know, but I just think that.
I have
Um,
an idea.
I-
Why don't
Okay,
we use our newsletter list for the first notification?
that's what I was gonna suggest, because I thought all the donors were on there, but
No, but I
they're
can
not.
download.
I understand they're not.
I can get I can get the list of who's getting the newsletter too. So I can get that list. I can get the online donation list, and we can go through and match that up with the donor records that Sarah's keeping, and come up with, and they're honestly, a lot of names on here that we will probably be able to knock off between those two lists, but not all of them. And the problem we have is some people, maybe they don't still have that email address. So those are going to bounce.
Mhm. Well, some are gonna bounce.
Could Stephanie help us with this?
Stephanie doesn't have access to anything except the actual content section where you create the newsletter. I'm the one that's got the keys to the kingdom.
So could we give her temporary keys to the kingdom?
No, we don't need to. It's not that big of a deal for me to get them downloaded. I
Okay.
can do it tonight.
That's what I wanted to hear, that it wasn't really hard to do
Okay.
and we're gonna do it. So you're gonna do it, so we can talk Marcia on it. Hi, Beck. My dog's saying hi.
But
So,
But it is still labor intensive to actually get the letters out. And
well, we're not getting letters out. What we're doing is notifying them. This is what I'm suggesting. So you want something else, let me know, but I'm suggesting that we send them the letter or the piece that I wrote that we all made notes on and changes that is inclusive of the entire thing. What I'm
Right.
calling the long form.
yeah, but it's the addressing that takes.
I get it. So
I don't
Marcia
have
said that,
with-
Marcia just said it wasn't a big deal.
So why can't we just do this through the, through Constant Contact? Because we can create a separate email list. I hope you can still hear us. We can create a separate email list in Constant Contact, and we can just send everything we've got there, and that way we can track the bounces without them being in somebody's inbox.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And that's a good idea, but it still leaves a lot of people not getting the information. Probably about 200, 300, 400 people that don't have emails that would need to get it.
Right, and we're gonna have to mail those.
But we can't hold up, I mean, they'll just give
Right.
to.
I agree, we can't hold up, but we
No,
gotta
no.
be aware of that as a thing we need to do and do it as quickly as possible. That's all. I just want to make sure that we don't all go, well, we can't do that. We're not doing it. We gotta have
Okay,
it.
well, we're gonna have to find some more people to address these envelopes, so.
Well,
I'll
we,
tell you, if you got envelopes, I'll sit in, my wife is sitting on a bed. I bet she'd be willing to help. We could get that done. I think the start, it's sort of like the inventory thing. We need a list. We need a list that's reliable with emails or postal addresses and decide who's gonna do it, who's gonna send the mass email, and that's a mail merge issue, I know. And if someone can do that, that's what I need to do.
the mass email isn't a mail merge issue if I create a separate mailing list in Constant Contact and we use
Okay.
that to mail out this special announcement.
I don't
And
know
that
that
way,
stuff, so
well, by doing it in Constant Contact, that means that all the emails that are going to bounce will not hit your inbox.
that's fabulous because that's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, so, and it also gives us a way to know that these are people we still haven't notified, so all in one place. So all I have to do is duplicate the current Constant Contact list and then import the GiveWP donors list, and then we can put it, set it up as a newsletter and send it out.
Okay. So, yeah, so that's Sarah, I'm reading her email, which I didn't really fully read, I guess.
Sarah
So the
Peters?
best way is Sarah Peters, yes. The best way is through the newsletter list. The only way I can send it. So, yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
And then send a letter to those that donate online. And she thinks that it's best to put a message on a special newsletter blast. That's fine. I don't care. Just as long as it's going out and getting to people and they're notified that we're closing it.
well, and what I need to know is, do you want me to put in the pre-header, which is what you see when you look at your inbox that says Reach announces the closing of Project Haven? Because if we don't put something like that, people aren't going to necessarily read it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So you're saying in the information or subject line?
Yeah, well, it's
Or-
there's called a pre-header in when you get things from Constant Contact and MailChimp and things like that, and it's what you see in your inbox, but that's not actually the subject of the email. It's just the pre-header.
Yeah, I'm not weighing in on that. Whatever you think is right. Yes, they should be notified that what they're about to look at is important.
Anybody
So-
else have any better suggestion?
I like that one. I like the title.
Go for it.
Simple, simple. Simple is
So
good.
you're basically putting a title on the piece we wrote.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's great. And I get that, that goes as a title to the message.
Okay. We haven't discussed when we're notifying the board, because there are board members that aren't sitting in these
Yeah.
meetings that need, I
Right.
mean, there needs to be an all board announcement, including to
Right.
Ted and Emery.
Right, and yeah, I agree.
So-
We have a board
Be the
list,
same
right?
thing.
We have a board list, so we can send that out.
You
We
should
got
have a
them to-
board list.
you know what? I didn't want to be chair, so I don't have a board list unless it's in the Google Drive, and I assume it is. I've seen it somewhere.
It is.
So we'd have to go in and I need somebody to do that. So can you do that?
So, yeah, I can do that. Make I'll make a board list, email
Yep.
it.
Email list and, yep,
I can
The,
send it
the
out.
board email list is in the drive, so you just need to,
Good.
look for board contact information and what she's supposed to do with it when she's got it, because you're the one that needs to send out the email.
you can send it to me and a
Okay.
list and an email, and I will grab them, copy them, and throw them in a new email and say, "Hi guys, if you didn't already know this, you had your head in the ground, but
Well,
here's
they
what's
don't
going
know
on."
the date is what they don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I
I'll craft something if you just give me I'm trying to minimize what I'm searching for and organizing. Yep.
Then, so are you gonna send what Pat's referring to as the long
Yeah.
form to the board? Is that what we're gonna send to them along with, attach it to an email or whatever? Is that,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
that long form, I feel that you have to edit it to, at the very top or someplace, put, please direct all comments and questions or whatever to you, Pat, or to whomever we're gonna direct it to, so that it don't go freelance and
Right.
start.
Okay.
That needs to go at the
So-
end.
Yeah,
Well,
that-
do people read to the end? I don't know, but it's just, he has to go on there
yeah, they
prominent.
should. If they want to
Prominent.
contact anybody, you always go to the end of whatever you're reading.
Well, it
So, yeah.
should, but I'm just nervous that it's so, people might not read the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it has to go on somewhere, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
I'm guessing that probably should go on it permanently.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's just make it part of the long form that, if any question, because that's
Yeah.
a media piece
I-
as well. If there are any
I got-
questions.
I got the note to do it.
Okay, good.
What I'm gonna tell you, Pat, is I just sent you the board list that you wanted Sue to look up and copy and paste into an email, so you have it now.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you for doing
So
that.
there you go, Sue. How was that? Easy. It's
Good.
really only about 4 people, but
Well,
yes.
no, we need to send it to
Oh, the
everybody.
date. Yeah, it's gonna go to everybody, but I'm just saying that you're absolutely right. People don't know the date, so. Okay. And that's that. Donor notifications, board is Pat. Behave closure, it's done, right?
Yep,
Okay, and then the insurance issues, how are we deciding on doing that? Are we trying to pay this premium? Do we need to pay the premium? I'm guessing.
we have to pay the
yes.
premium if we got the reminder that it's due on Friday, and on Thursday we'll get the notice that it's canceled if we don't pay it on Friday.
Okay,
So
and
we have to pay it if
that.
we're staying open till the 21st, so I
okay,
will
and that's
pay
in the cash flow, so
It's
we've got.
already in there, yep. And I will pay it on Thursday or Friday, depending on what comes up during the week for me, but it will be paid, it
Okay.
will be paid by Friday.
Can
Right,
I ask if
great.
we can ask for reimbursement of the pay period covered, the time period covered that we aren't open?
No, this is all for 23 and 24 that we should have been
Oh, it
paying
is still
during
the
those years.
23,
Yeah,
24 underpaid.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we
we're-
should be notifying them, and the fear is that we still probably owe them, I think it's 19, right?
I can tell you in
And
a half a second.
do we need that? That's all still 23?
Um,
But we need
no,
to
it's
notify
20
them.
It's 24, it's 17,496. We
I'm
don't
sorry,
need
I
to
don't even
notify
know what it
them
is.
until after we get the next bill.
Sounds good. Okay, so insurance, Marcia's got it.
Mhm.
We've got. Got it. Okay. That's all I got, but what's anybody else think about what we're doing?
I've canceled the health insurance and the dental and vision insurance for Pam. The nice news is we still only owed a partial payment for health insurance because of the situation with Shaq that they were reimbursing us for. And there's no charge for the dental insurance because she's covered for March with what we paid in February.
Oh, good. Okay. What's the Shack connection? I didn't know there was a Shack.
When Shaq got fired for
No.
some,
Shaq the person,
Oh,
not Shaq. the
Shack's a
organization.
person. I'm like, why is Shack involved in our benefits? Okay, never mind about it. I know he's a person. So, I lost my train of thought, but it was about employees. I don't even know.
so anyhow, it's only $750 instead of
Okay.
what it was originally gonna be, which was $819. It's not that
Oh, I
much,
know.
different, but
I know what I was going to say, which we all knew, but it hasn't been calculated yet, is that we're going to save Pam's salary. So as of the 7th, right, we're going to go 2 weeks without her payroll, which is what, it's got to be 4,000, well, it's got to be 7,000 a month. So that's a few grand, right?
well, yeah, but we also are gonna get hit with a really hefty workers' comp and increase this Friday, so don't get too excited.
I'm just saying, I'm not getting excited about it. I think it's good. It's a positive. It's going to absorb some of that additional cost. So just needs to go into the cash flow. So we add, 52 weeks divided into 75, and that's what, 1,500.
I'll get
So-
the number from,
Yeah. So we
The
should
source.
just be adding that in as, or not adding it in, but deducting it from the payroll due expense. So.
right,
All right.
I'll tell you in a
Anybody got
minute.
anything else? I don't care.
Um,
I know it's 1,500 something or in that range. Pretty easy to figure out.
It's 2884.62 every 2 weeks.
Right. Okay. That's good.
What's
So that'll
that?
absorb,
Oh,
that's her
Pam-
payroll for 2 weeks that we will save $2,800.
So I have a question. Are we going to retain staff to clean out the building and help move the stuff into storage from Barberry?
Yes.
I would hope so, if possible.
Who
The
do we,
fewer
how many do
people-
we need?
Not that many. If
Matt?
Matt is supposedly working on getting everything donated and out of the building, that's, all of the kitchen, like
Mhm.
the clothing, the clothing, the bedding, the
Mhm.
dishes, all that hoo-ha,
The personal
And,
care items and
yeah,
so on and so
everything.
forth.
all of that, yeah. So if we can work on that, we can't get rid of all of it, obviously, until,
Shelter's got to make a decision on who we need
Yeah,
to
right.
retain. So if
Yeah.
you need to do that,
yeah.
you
So,
probably have to do
we
that
will-
separately, or you're not,
I'm-
you're changing their notification.
Say what?
Right. Sorry, moved away. So you have to change someone's notification
Well,
instead
I
of saying
think,
you're
I don't
no
think,
longer here.
we can, why? Can't we just tell them that they're, Pam isn't here to do these things. She would be the person to ask.
Right, I agree.
So I feel that we should tell them that we are gonna let them go on the 21st, and then there's no reason we can't go and just offer somebody if they would want to be extended for a week or something like that. I mean, it's just.
Okay, it's just,
impossible.
yeah, I wouldn't change the wording in the notification. I'm just saying
No,
you need to go to Bob or Sue or Shaq and say, we need you for another couple weeks. Are you willing
Yeah,
to come?
Shaq-
Shaq-
They may not say it. They may not want it. So
Right,
Shaq's not going to be there because he was fired in September, but
I'm just using his name as an example.
and I think Andre, we'll just see what Andre wants to do. I mean, I just think that we can all work together to decide that. And a lot of it depends on how much Matt gets rid of before the closing date.
well, Well, a lot
I
of
just
us,
want to make sure, from my standpoint, I want to make sure it's being handled. And if you're saying you got it, I feel good about it. Sue,
Well, I would think, wouldn't it be good for Deb to talk to Andre now and get him thinking about who could stay and help clean, or who
Yeah.
might be.
that's a
willing
good
to
idea.
and
No.
it would be a 1 week extension because we have to be out by the 31st. It can't be 2 weeks.
Oh, well, okay, so you've talked with Joe and he said the 31st? No,
no,
he's pretty
No,
laissez-faire.
I think he's flexible, but
Yeah,
I think we
do
need to, I haven't yet talked to him more than what I've told you. He was gonna get to me and he hasn't done that, but I think we're fine going
Mhm.
into the third,
I agree.
fourth or whatever, but
Yeah.
we should try and shoot to get out of there.
Yeah,
And I don't
I
want
agree.
this lingering like 720
No,
was forever.
Not at
It was a year.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
Okay.
it might take 3 days and it might take a week or 10
Okay,
days.
good. As long as you guys got it, and you're gonna do it as much as in a compression you can.
As far as my understanding from what Matt said to me, I believe that the people who are being donated this stuff are going to come pick it up. We don't have to deliver it to them.
Nice.
So it's just moving our stuff out of there into storage that needs to be stored and doing a cleaning of the building from top to bottom. So
You need to refer Matt to me because I'm going to handle this from now on.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's
I'm
what I
just
want to hear.
saying-
That's great.
I'm just
That's great.
saying
Thank
that
you.
that's what he told me about West Main. So, I'm not really interested in being involved in the middle of it. I'm just saying that was my understanding with what happened at West Main, and I assume that's going to happen at Barberry.
Hopefully not. I'm asking that it doesn't. To be honest with you, and I'll be very transparent. If Deb's saying she's gonna have it, I feel much more confident than when I heard Andy say it. And I love Andy, but so Deb, you
I
got it.
feel much more
So
confident too because I have control issues and they
yeah,
come
that's
handy
right. Good job.
sometimes.
Good job. Let's move on. I don't have anything else except my dog has got to be fed. I'm good. I got everything noted, and so I guess the key, Deb, is you got to tell me when you're ready, and I will we just got to communicate with each other.
Okay, I'm ready. I'll write
Okay,
this thing up.
then you're
I
waiting
will
for
write
me
this
then.
thing up and contact Andre and first thing tomorrow morning and say,
Okay.
I want you to send it. My problem is I can't email it to him.
To what?
I can't email the statement that I want him to put in the group chat.
Oh, okay. So you're going to handle that, but then you're waiting for me. So
Yeah.
I'm going to wait, hear from Casey, call her right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Mess-
Okay.
You're
say
breaking up.
we need tomorrow, we need Word so we can send everything,
Yeah.
period. We need the termination approved and written. I just got unstable internet. All of the things we talked about need to be reviewed by council, and then I can push send, and I will let you know, Deb, and then you can
Okay.
push send.
Okay. And
All right.
remember that we're meeting at 11:30, so I'll be,
Who's,
it's our normal
Shelter?
meeting. Yeah.
so are we meeting in person?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay, well, you're gonna be talking about it then, I'm sure.
But I'd like to get it out as soon as possible. These
I-
guys are anxious and I've been putting them off and
I
putting
agree,
them off.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing, I'm trying.
Okay, but can't we
So-
just notify them anyway of Nixon P.
Yeah, go ahead. I think it should be at the same time, but go
Okay.
ahead. I just don't want Denise to pick up and say, what are you
Okay,
doing?
all right. Well, we'll
It's
wait
just-
until like
I
after.
just think that's
I'll-
not,
okay.
I don't think that,
Do you
just
want to
trust me that I'll try and get this done before 11.
Do you want the statement about questions and comments to have your personal email address in it, or do you want the info email address in there?
Info,
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
And just.
Do we have a phone number we can use that is detached? I don't want my personal phone in there.
No.
So-
I have a Google
Yeah.
Voice number, but
It's a Reach account, right? Marcia,
there's what's a Reach account?
the Google separate phone number, do you use that just
No,
for
but I can
reach?
set one up for info at Reach Advocacy real quick
Okay,
and,
Yeah.
send you the phone number and then,
perfect.
those will
Then
still
we need to
go.
check it.
I'm
Make
sorry?
sure, we need to check it. I wouldn't have known how to do that, so I'm glad you can do that if it's a reasonable number. I mean, meaning not a reasonable number, but that it's a working number. That would be great.
Well,
I
I
don't want my
will,
personal.
okay. If I set it up with Reach Rochester, that means that nobody's gonna get the phone messages. Nobody's gonna get it. It's gotta be set up like to your personal Gmail account. But you can just set it up for this purpose and not give it out to anyone else. And then you'll know when the calls come in on your phone because you just download the Google Voice app onto your phone. And then
I
when the
don't-
calls come in, you know that they're about the shelter closing.
I don't want to set this up. Can you set it up or just hand off or put in my information or put my email in? I don't want to set that up right now. I don't want to be screwing around with Google Voice.
I
Yeah,
can't.
All I
you
know
what?
is,
They have to email you, Pat.
okay, fine, just put an email in.
I mean, I don't
Yep.
know what, I don't know what
Info-
else to say. I mean, what,
No, what you said is perfect. It was a very good comment. Well done. Let's just put the email in.
Please direct all questions and comments to info@reachadvocacy.org.
Perfect.
attention, or even attention, Pat Tobin,
Yeah, that sounds fine. Yeah,
something like
Great.
that. I don't know.
perfect.
I
See,
mean,
that's
it
why
is
you're,
what it
that's
is.
why
We're
you're here,
not,
Deb.
we're
All these great
unpaid
great
volunteers, for
ideas.
God's sakes.
I know it. I know it. Okay, are we done for now? I gotta go.
I think so.
Yeah,
I'm so burnt. Okay, see you guys.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
bye. I'm always the last one.
No, I'm the last one because I end the meeting for everybody.